Hey y'all, welcome in. If you are new or just passing through to my channel, welcome. My name is Tam. I'm also known as the Enlightened Auntie, and if you're returning, welcome back, squad. I'm here today to do another general collective reading. We're not sign specific here, we're also gender fluid. I may say you when I'm talking to them. I may say them, I'm talking to you. Put yourself in the story wherever you seem to fit. Remember that time and energy are fluid, so I could be talking about the recent past, the present, or the future. Take only the parts that resonate, leave everything else behind. If you'd like to book a personal more aligned with your own story, all of my information can be found below in the description box, and I invite you to join me for a session. FYI, my books for November are officially closed. So if you would like to work with me before the year closes out, I recommend that you get on the books as soon as possible for the month of December, because December usually books out pretty quickly due to the 12-month prediction readings, and those are limited spots. So if I get a booking for a 12-month reading, I'm going to close the books for the day, and I won't take any other clients because it takes a lot of energy just to do those specific readings. So get in where you fit in, all right? Hope everybody is doing good. I needed to take a couple of days off. I don't normally work on the weekends, but the weekend energy felt really good. But then Monday and Tuesday's energy was a little bit weird. So I did actually record yesterday, but I decided to hold the videos. I don't know if I'm going to publish them. I thought about putting them on the cutting room floor. I don't even think I want to do that because the energy was so weird. But we'll tap in and see what happens. Also, I posted it, that one of their community members, I want you to see it though. Like, I know I took pictures of it, but I need you to see this. Is this not the most beautiful thing you've ever, like, I don't even want to burn it. It's so beautiful. I don't want to burn it, but she doesn't have her website up yet. So as soon as she gets her website up, as soon as she lets me know, I'll put it in the description box with the directory of other Soul Tribe members that have stuff to sell. And I really like this one too. I love this. I love the detail. They smell amazing. And I really, really like this one because it has the death card. Good for Scorpio season, but it's so pretty. Oh my god. And they smell so good. I just like sitting them here on my desk. I just like looking at them. I don't want to burn them. I don't want to burn them. But she's located in Scotland, so if any of my viewers are in that side of the world, I would absolutely recommend that you buy from her, because these are just, they're gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous, and they smell just heavenly. Alright, so let's tap in and see what Spirit wants to talk about today. I've been shuffling up these cards really good to clear the energy. And I just cleansed my space. Alright, let's see what we got. Current energy. Okay. Hey, I like it. Hey, I don't like it. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I don't like it. It's giving, I'm trying to see something. I kind of feel like there's a situation that the divine is trying to get you to wrap up. And you may be well aware that something is like a cycle's closed out, or there's something that you're absolutely done with, but you haven't walked away from it yet. But like I said, the energy that I was getting was like, wait, I need to see something. I'm waiting to see something. What are you trying to see? I do see peeled back layers of... there's a lot of energy here. Because it does feel like I feel like that, because I have the Observer card out here, but it's giving me a different layer of what you're looking for. What are you looking for? The call's coming from inside the house. What are you waiting for? Okay. maybe it's not even about leaving, because I'm not really seeing it like that. There's a cycle that maybe has come to a conclusion. It doesn't actually require you to leave. Maybe you're seeing something different. It's coming from within your home. That's like the call is coming from the house. It's coming from inside the house, is what I heard. And I heard that very clearly. Calls coming from inside the house. So is there like a shift of energy or something that's happened or going on under the roof of your home, wherever you live? I'm also getting an energy, because there's an observation. Yes, there is an observation that one is having about their home. It removes the emotional component for the ability to actually see it objectively. Something has changed or shifted, but it's not a bad thing. Call's definitely coming from inside the house, though. Okay. I actually kind of like this energy. You know what this feels like? Okay. This kind of feels like, okay, so this is part of the obstacle, right? Somebody here is experiencing a degree of anxiety. And it kind of, I'm getting like an energy of, there's a concern about things being uneven. In an area of like effort. There's something here that there's a concern about unevenness or unfairness, where it's not necessarily reciprocation. I'm not getting reciprocation kind of energy. It's like, yes, yes, equal give and take, but not, this isn't giving me like reciprocal. It's like pulling your own load. Okay. Thank you. It's like somebody pulling their own weight. Like there's a concern about there's a concern that there's a situation that it won't change. Although I do see that whatever's been going on in your home, if there's a cycle that had been kind of, ongoing, that has come to an end. Okay. I think a lot of it had to do with divine timing, and, especially if you were wrapping up a karmic cycle. And it's interesting. I'm like, the center energy is really interesting, because the concern is that something, it's like, I'm worried if I keep giving that I'm going to always just get minimal, no response out of this person, or they're going to continue giving very little to the relationship, or they're not going to pull their own weight. Like there's an energy of, there's a concern there. It's almost like, I just don't want to keep doing this. It's interesting. It's like having to overcome an anxiety. It's a fear of something not changing. because I'm telling you, there's a cycle that has come to a completion. Somebody is worried about, like, maybe this is always how it's been. I don't know what the nature of the relationship is or who this even is, but it kind of feels like this is what the relationship has always been. It's always been like this. And, especially like I've always talked about, like, we talk about, like, the one person doing all the heavy lifting and the other person's just kind of like, kicking back and reaping all the benefits and rewards of being in the relationship. That's what this is. I mean, it's not necessarily giving me a reciprocal energy. Is just really a concern, a huge concern about, one person pulling all the weight and the other person is just like, if in the past you were dealing with somebody who wasn't pulling their weight within a relationship, there is a concern, or part of the concern is that it's always going to be this way. So somebody's maybe having a difficult time in, I mean, I get it. I'm like, I get it. Somebody's having a difficult time with the idea or concept of continuing to pull the weight, whatever that means. Okay. Oh. Okay. Well, I'm like, well, this is what it is. Okay. I'm like, I don't really know which side. Okay. Here's the thing. Part of the lesson. Now we do have regeneration in the reverse, so we know that that's not allowing for a second chance or another opportunity. And someone, it's kind of weird because it feels like, I don't know what the dynamic of the relationship is. This is not necessarily giving me like a romantic, but it's not necessarily giving me a romantic relationship at all, actually. So I don't know who this is. But part of the lesson is kind of like not allowing this person to come back. And while you may not have imagined, like, this isn't you, I don't think that the circumstance or the way the relationship is unfolding, I don't think this was ever part of like the overall plan. But I also feel like there's a need to recognize that even in the relationship, being within it, whatever this is, I don't think that it brings you any happiness or abundance. And I think part of the lesson, I can see where it's weird because like these cards don't say that, but I can definitely tell what I know what this is. Because it's like someone's having a really hard time accepting the fact, because I don't think whoever this is, I don't know what this is, but whatever this is, someone's having a really hard time with like maybe like being done. It's like the finality of it all. Like somebody's having a really hard time with it. And somebody's having a hard time with the finality of the relationship. So maybe that's why somebody hasn't quite moved on yet. And maybe in order for, and like put yourself wherever you are. Oh yeah. If you have specific requirements, because flexible in the reverse on this side of the board for me, it's giving, maybe in the past you kind of had some like wavy boundary lines. You might have had some like wavy boundary lines, like they weren't really firm. And so part of your lesson is, and I normally, when flexible comes out in the reverse, I'm usually looking at that card like, that's not really good energy. But in this placement, it tells me it's necessary, especially if it's kind of like, in order for you, because I see it here, it's like you're kind of worried that things are like, if you continue to deal with this person, if you continue to put in effort towards this relationship. Thank you, spirits. I wasn't even looking at it from, normally I look, I read from left to right and from top to bottom. I don't always, like with these particular cards, I don't always read up, and this time I'm reading it up and I'm like, oh, because that's what it is. You usually have a tendency to, you put in the work, you do the work that's necessary to like maintain certain relationships or whatever. But the problem that you're having here is that this is definitely kind of like a realization that no matter how much effort you put into it, the situation or the person that you're dealing with is not going to change. And so part of what the obstacle has been for you is really the learning how to just stop giving, or stop doing, stop showing up, right? Because in order for this to actually work, like if, and when the cards come out in the reverse, I like to, in my mind, I kind of like to envision like what would happen, or what would need to happen in order to flip the cards in the upright to make things kind of even out a little bit. But the thing is that I feel like this person, I think you've always had wavy boundaries. It's like, you give them a pass because you got love for them or whatever. You give them a pass, you keep putting effort into the relationship, but it still doesn't result in actual change. And the divine is trying to tap you on the shoulder and say, honey, it's time for you to go. This is wrapped up. It's time for us to move on now. And honestly, I want to say this is part of God's favor in your life, like by allowing you to recognize a pattern within a particular relationship or several relationships, or a pattern within yourself. Okay, as we inch up on the new moon, a pattern within yourself that needs to be corrected. Okay, because I can see here, if you were to give this person or situation a second chance, whatever this is, you are not going to be happy at all. Yes, you are not going to be happy. And the thing is that I said a call is coming from inside the house. Okay, there it is. Okay. All right, so now we have mending and regeneration both in the reverse, so you know what that means for me. Like, and unfinished symphony all in the reverse. Like, this is done. This is done. Your willingness and availability to be present, to be of assistance to people, you got to cut all that out. Because the thing is that, one, whatever this is that you are now looking at from and it very well, you could be wrapping up a whole ass cycle. The cycle's already kind of closed out, and then there's just this lingering, it still shows up in my reading. So obviously the energy is still kind of lingering. But now it's allowing you to kind of see it from a more neutral perspective, without the emotional component. Take out all the feelings and see it for what it is. That you're not in alignment with these people. Whatever the situation is, it does not make you happy. And the longer you insist on moving forward or trying to keep an attachment or some type of connection to this person, things, if you're wondering, or there's something in your head going, how come shit is not working out for me? I can tell you why it's not working out for you is because some of you are still connected to something that has expired and you need to move on. Now, I know that ain't for everybody, because I can already see the comments. I don't already moved on. I don't want to talk to them. Blah, blah. I know, but that ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But that's been part of the problem. You keep giving to things that don't change. You keep giving to situations that don't change. And I think I've talked about this because I can see it in a larger... I see it from a larger lens, but it keeps coming out, and it has been coming out a lot in my client readings lately. And it's been kind of a blanketed theme over everybody's reading. And I feel like, and I think I even mentioned this to my client last night, I think the reason why is because Spirit is trying to get you to listen. It's really interesting because I don't have any cards out here that talk about the intuition, but really what Spirit's trying to do is get you to lean into your intuition and trust yourself, because I kind of feel like you already know that, like, this thing is wrapped up, and there's still I'm talking to somebody very specific here who is, like, still kind of questioning, like, why shit ain't working out, why things ain't coming together in the way that, you know, they intended. Like, they're going after things, but shit just keeps falling apart or whatever. It's because you're also still giving energy or effort to something that is not changing. You don't like it, it's unfair, but you keep giving to it. You keep giving to it. And I'm telling you here, part of the lesson is you weren't ever meant to go back or reconcile or try to mend fences, because whatever the dynamic of the relationship or whatever this is, it's not actually sustainable for you into the future. Especially if what is coming towards you, because I wasn't going to talk about the readings that I did yesterday, unless I actually saw it in the cards. But yesterday's reading, I tried several times with different decks. I did record a substantial amount of footage, at least 2 hours worth. But the energy that I was getting out of yesterday's readings, like the big overall theme was, there was a situation connected to your past, that, you know, you've already kind of, you know, you've moved on from it or whatever, but there was a little hesitation on their part. They wanted to approach you, but I kept seeing, and no matter what deck I pulled, no matter how I laid the cards, the only reason why the person was coming towards you or approaching you is because they needed some kind of help, whether it was financial, emotional, or they just needed your assistance in getting themselves grounded, right? You have to stop allowing your energy to... Well, one, you got to stop allowing folks to siphon your energy, because the way I'm seeing it, I don't know if it's because there's, like, I can hear this running water in the audio, but the way I'm envisioning is like energy leakages. Follow me? It's like energy leakages. You may have some of those. You're gonna have to patch those up, right? Okay. Especially if the person that's trying to come towards you is looking for a handout or looking for some kind of help, and they've never actually helped you in the way that they're expecting your help. Does that make sense? It's like somebody, this is a really generic example. It's like somebody coming to you and asking you for $5,000 because they like, whatever the excuse is, they really need it, right? But if you had ever fixed your mouth to ask them for $5,000, you would have been greeted with the most hostile response or outrageous laughter, because you wouldn't have gotten it anyway. They would have laughed at you and sent you on your way, right? You need to have that same energy when this person approaches you, whoever it is. Just saying. I ain't telling you what to do. I'm just highly recommending how to address it. And don't loan anybody shit, because you will never see a dime of that money back. Just saying. Alright. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Okay. I just heard, where is the loyalty to yourself? So that's really what this is. That's what this is. And I described, and it's funny because I think with my client last night, I think the way that I described the Lover's card, it was the Lovers and the Devil's card. It was like a very new, eye-opening way to describe it. So for me, and even though I'm not using a single tarot card, but I can kind of see here, this would be the same kind of example. So the Lovers and the Devil card are two sides of the exact same coin. Okay. And most times you'll hear tarot readers say, oh, the Lovers, you got a choice between two people and blah, blah, blah. Lovers this, lovers that, soul contracts, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But when I look at the Lovers card and the symbology of it, yes, it is a choice between two things or two people that you are emotionally invested in, right? The component that most people miss is that one of the two people should be you. That's the one thing I never hear anybody talk about. One of the two people in the decision-making process, I just saw 27 on the clock. One of the two people in the thought process or decision-making process should be yourself, right? When you make choices that are in alignment with what you want, and I'm not talking about a person, because I could easily see how somebody would be like, well, I really want John, so I'm going to choose John. Nah, it's not quite like that. It's like, choose yourself. Choose yourself, because the other decision, which kind of binds you to the devil, right? It benefits, the decision actually benefits someone else, not you. Okay? So here's the thing. The decision, it's funny. We have go the distance in the reverse, between worlds in the upright, and then loyal hearts on the opposite side. And the way that I'm looking at this is like the choices, because between worlds, you're already facing forward, right? You're already moving into the new cycle. You're ready. But you got some like loose end shit behind you that needs to be addressed. And so by you making a conscious decision that I'm not going to keep doing this anymore, I'm going to keep my face forward, facing this loyal heart, because the loyalty is to myself first. Even outside of the relationship dynamics, your partnerships and all that stuff, you should always be in the forefront. Like, you show people how to love you by the way you love yourself. That has to be paramount. Always. You love yourself. Starts there. And I'm always going to remind you, if the people around you, it doesn't matter what the hell the relationship is. If the people around you ain't gassing you up better than you gas yourself, those ain't your people. Those are not your people. If I ain't learned nothing else in this business, in this line, specifically in this line of business, if I ain't learned nothing else, the people that gas you up the most, that hype you the most, that support you the most, those are your people. And I just got chills. Those people fuck with you heavily. But if you ain't got people that are clapping for you, those ain't your people. Those ain't your people. And so I feel like the core decision that we're looking at is the loyalty to yourself over your loyalty to whatever these outside relationships are, whoever they are. It doesn't matter who they are. But if you're dealing with a dynamic where you feel like somebody's not necessarily pulling their weight within the relationship, whatever it is, and you're the one always doing all the work and things seem to be a little out of balance, the loyalty needs to be to yourself, not this person or anybody who behaves in this manner. This is interesting. Because I was going to ask, are you afraid to communicate that you're choosing to honor yourself first? But I'm not really receiving. That was what was on my mind, but that's not the way I'm receiving this energy. It kind of feels like I don't actually have a need to communicate because of the loyalty to yourself. Like, I don't really, it's kind of like we know that the relationship is pretty much dead. Like, it's gone. I don't have a desire to communicate. I don't think I need to say to you, this is done. Because I think we both understand that this is done. I don't see a need. I'm not afraid to reach out. I just don't have shit to say. Like, I just don't see the point. Why? Like, literally, I'm like looking at this last card. Why? Like, why? And why talks about the intentionality behind doing things. I don't have a reason to have a conversation. Why? I don't have a reason. So I don't see a need. I don't have fear. I'm not afraid to talk to any of these people. I just don't have a reason to talk to any of them, you know? There's nothing, I have nothing positive nor negative to say. I just have nothing to say. It is what it is. Like, it is what it is. Okay. Yeah. And these are connected to your past, a past version of you that made you very unhappy, that didn't feel fulfilling. Oh, I love this. Yeah, it was just a matter of time. Wow. Wow. Because these cards, these three cards that I got are the same three cards that I have in the first sector from the very first spread, in the exact same order. They're now in reverse position. So in the first spread, Observer was in the reverse, TikTok was in the upright, and No Place Like Home was also in the upright. Now it's in the dilemma blockage section. Observer is in the upright, TikTok is in the reverse, but No Place Like Home is still in the upright. So this for me tells me that has been like part of the problem, because somebody here is looking, because when Observer is in the reverse for me, it removes your ability to see it from a place of neutrality. You're looking at it from your point of view. Like, I'm looking at it the way this is how I see it, right? But what you needed to do that was part of it. Like, part of the dilemma for you had been the ability to kind of pull all the way back, pull the emotions back, remove all of the junk, and think about how do we get here. I also see that component when I look at this No Place Like Home card, because it's kind of like having the ability to look at something like with a broad overview, but being really grounded, being in a very grounded space while doing it, but looking down as an observer, not as a participant. And now seeing that there's an aspect of your old life or an aspect of the old you that is no longer, it doesn't exist anymore. And that's the other reason why this dynamic would never work, because the old you that actually accepted the crumbs doesn't exist. And again, the way you show people how to love you is by loving yourself first. And most times, if people cannot match that and they can't compete with a child, let those people go. Let them go. Yes. Yes, I love this. So here's the thing. Oh. So maybe in the past, you accepted, because I'm going to say it was because you had these wavy ass boundaries. So in the past, and this is part of you just being who you are. You're very accepting of, this is like the no judgment zone. We listen, we don't judge, right? And so because of that, you were very accommodating, we'll say. I'm choosing my words carefully. You were very accommodating. But what God was trying to show, but the thing is, even in that accommodation, and you were being, you were being accepting of people and their flaws and who they are. I got a whole story on this, and I can see, I'm like, I hear it in my head. But as open as you were to the people around you or whatever in that way, God was trying to show you that these people, they're not like you. They're not like you. These people are not like you. And so while you were being very giving and generous and accepting of who all of these people were, because I do have now, I'm getting more people out here. It's crazy because even in your acceptance, they still made you feel like you were alone. And if this is your family, and if this is your family, oh, crazy. You never imagined that these people, these same people, look at that. These same people are the precise reason why things in your life were not coming together. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that I think maybe that's part of what the reluctance here, and this ain't for everybody, but part of the lesson was you recognizing, I think I've talked about that. I have been talking about this. It was for you to recognize the difference between yourself and the people, your family, friend group, whoever. And recognizing, because I think that has been, honestly, I feel like just based on the cards and based on all the numerous readings that I've done over the last several weeks, clients included, I think the overall sweeping theme for the collective has been God wanted us to recognize it going forward, we can't do anything about what we've already experienced in the past. Like, now that you know what you know, start making the cuts appropriately. Most of you have already started and done that, so I'm not worried about that. But I got a couple of people that are still, I think part of the lesson had been they weren't necessarily ready to let go of them. Because I'm not saying anybody made these decisions like on the fly. We weren't just like, fuck it, I'm not going to do it anymore. It took a lot of deliberation and a lot of thought. A lot of thought. And it went in a bunch of different directions. It's like, you're worried about being judged by the rest of your family. And once you move past the fear of judgment, baby, you're solid gold. Because that usually is like one of the larger hurdles. You're initially very worried about how you're going to be perceived and how the rest of them, because you already know they're going to be talking shit, how the rest of them are going to be talking about you and all that. But when you remove yourself from those dynamics and then you kind of like cut off any of the avenues of any of that shit getting back to you, then you can block it out and you ain't worried about it, right? But I think for you, there was a need for preparedness. Because on one hand, it was like, we went through the whole fear of the unknown. Like, okay, if I drop this, if I stop fucking with my family or this friend group, like, I know they're going to be talking shit about me. Every time they get together, they're going to come together and they're going to be talking shit about me. And the funny thing about it is because we're inching up on the holidays and I don't know about y'all. I've been away from my family for a while, so I feel like the holidays have been much more pleasant for me. Just celebrating with the people in my house. I don't necessarily need to pile everybody up in the car and we all go over to my mom's or whatever. And I honestly don't really give a shit what people are talking about in my absence. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me because it doesn't concern me, Alright, let's dig into tarot and see what else is going on. Okay, shout out to Leah. It's funny when I don't record for a couple of days, I'll get a random text from folks. Leah always checks on me. If I haven't posted in a couple of days, she will most certainly send me a text asking me if I'm okay. Yes, love, I'm good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Two things could be true at the same time is what I just heard. I love it. Okay. Remember that statement. Two things can be true at the same time. Okay, just know that if you extracted yourself from a situation, if you've already removed yourself, please understand that it would be completely asinine of you to allow it, whatever it is, to come back into your life, okay? Especially if you're looking for positive change in your future, you have to reject giving effort, energy, time, anything. Like, la la la, I can't hear you, I don't see you, you ain't there, okay? You cannot, do not. Of course, I'm always going to tell you, I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just highly recommending you don't. Because I do feel like in the past you were I heard enthusiastically idealistic about whatever this is, all while knowing that the two truths that you're dealing with is, on one hand, this is like family or somebody you've known for a long time or somebody that you've had some deep connection to. And on the other hand, you also know that the nature of the relationship was kind of riddled with bullshit. Two things can be true at the same time. Two things can be true at the same time. Okay. Oh. I said you freed yourself, so if you freed yourself... Yes! I'm glad I took one extra card. Normally I stop at 5, but I'm glad I took it. Okay. I do not know what's going on with the other person. But, I know I've told you this before, but whatever you turned, like whatever you removed yourself from, whatever you stopped dealing with, you did it at the appropriate time. There's something about timing. Yes. Oh, I love this. I feel like you had to muster up a lot of courage in order to make the decision to sever ties or walk away from toxic ass relationships. It may have been very painful. For some people, it might have been a really painful, solemn decision. To have to walk away, it's like facing the reality that whatever you were walking away from wasn't very emotionally supportive anyway. It did not allow for you to, I mean, there's like a very unhealthy amount of it's an unhealthy amount of like this weird, because I feel the push pull, so it makes sense. Because I kind of feel like whatever this was that you were dealing with, like I said, they made you feel. That's why it's important. Like if somebody is returning, if you got yourself out of the shit, don't jump back in. Because whoever this person is, they also made you feel like you were the redheaded stepchild, right? And truth be told, they don't actually like feeling the way that they made you feel. They don't like that feeling. No change. There is a component here about the no change. When I said in the first spread, I was like, whatever, it doesn't matter how much you give to it, whether it's time, effort, energy, or resources, it doesn't matter how much you give to it, it doesn't actually change. So instead, focus on yourself. Because whatever it was that you were focusing on or pouring into, it wasn't balanced in the first place. It did not offer you emotional support. You spent a lot of time in your head, and really all it required you to realize is that you would be setting yourself free. Essentially, you would be setting yourself free. And I feel like a lot of the reasons why you initially didn't move on is because you felt bound to some sense of obligation. But that obligation, the feeling attached to it, had a level of toxicity involved. And you had to, I don't know, this kind of gives me the sense that you had to see it. That's part of that pulling back and looking at things objectively, when you can kind of see the moving parts without you participating with the moving parts. Just watch it. When you could see it from that vantage point, then you were probably able to go, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. Ooh. Okay, we'll take the 3. Oh shit. Are you worried about... Yeah, you're worried. Okay, here's the thing. Remember those wavy boundaries we were talking about? I think more of the concern really stems from the actual realization that you did have wavy boundaries. Again, if you can acknowledge the waviness of the boundaries, blurred lines, you may be actually able to see how you contributed to the way the relationship was. And I mean, it's like no fault of your own, but there's a contribution. Your contribution, I think it was more your presence. That was your contribution. You kept showing up. Your contribution was showing up with these wavy ass boundaries, still having to deal with a relationship that's kind of in disharmony and fractured. You've been worried about what it's going, and I don't know, you've been worried about the optics of it. And for me, it's kind of like, get out of your feelings and see the reality. Because the relationship itself was already fractured. And probably due to secrets that you didn't know nothing about. Yep. Your boundaries are a problem. Like, your boundaries have been a problem. And some of you are still energetically, like, while you may be withholding from these people, like you're not participating, some of you are still holding on, or they are still holding on to your energy. Ooh. So what you need to release, this feels very much like coming to terms, having acceptance, radical acceptance, that the connections that you were holding on to really were not beneficial to you. And I think it's also kind of a reminder of, like, when you release the things and people and situations that don't actually serve your greatest and highest good, when you release them, you actually make room for the people who do belong in your life. But I think it first required your awareness, you being able to see it for what it is, acknowledge what you got in front of you, identify what needs to go, and then removing it so that you can, go on. Yes. Part of the lesson, if this is a family dynamic, part of this lesson has a lot to do with like gathering up your own confidence, making the decision to walk away from these people, particularly if it's your family. Because I think you held on to these people thinking that this was part of your wish fulfillment. And I think God was trying to show you, like, no, baby, these people are not your people. They're not like you. You're not like them. Just because you're born into that family or whatever, you've been tossed into this friend group, does not necessarily mean that you're supposed to stay there. You're supposed to stay there long enough to identify the misalignment. And then when you identify that you're not in alignment and that you're misaligned, to extract yourself. That has been the biggest lesson here that I've been seeing just coming across the board over and over again. Identifying the misalignment and removing yourself. Post haste. that's it right there. Yes. It's like, you know what you've been doing? This feels like to me like the overall theme here has been for you to like learning to choose yourself, prioritizing yourself, prioritizing pouring into people that pour into you. And even though you've been very perseverant and you keep showing up for folks, you can't keep showing up for folks who are just there to take from you. You know, they're just there to benefit from whatever it is that you have to offer. They're not actually, you know, because it kind of feels like the nature of this, whatever is on this board, whatever this relationship is on the board. And again, I don't, like I said, it doesn't have to be romantic because I honestly don't have like romance out here. But whatever the nature of the relationship is, I think there has to be a recognition that, and I don't think this is necessarily for you. Maybe this is more for the other people involved, because what they get back, you're teaching somebody or somebody's that what they get from you is what they've given. Does that make sense? Are we following? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Because if what you've been dealing, like if all of a sudden, like, you know, and I know it's not, you didn't wake up one day and go, fuck it, I'm not doing it anymore. You know, it took some time, and you might have even done it like kind of incrementally, and you just started pulling back. But this kind of feels like what you're doing is, or in just at the end of the day, you're going to be showing people that because now you're a different person. You're not the same person that you were when you were dealing with these relationships, or you're not the same person that they remember you being. And here what you're showing them is, I'm prioritizing myself. I'm only focusing on the things that I truly value, that value me. I'm putting my effort into those people and those things, right? But I'm not going to keep giving to connections that provide little to no support at all. And so now what you're seeing reflected back to you is the same shit that you gave me. So if you didn't give me much in a relationship in our dynamic, well, guess what? That's what you're getting right now, and you're not getting a lot, and you don't like it, huh? Imagine people feeling, now if this is a family dynamic, imagine people feeling entitled to your time and energy simply because you're related. Not because they've ever shown up for you. They don't call and check on you. They not checking on your kids. They don't give a shit about what's going on with you. But the only reason why they want to come back around or be in your life is because you're in a good space. You're in a better space than where they left you. It's 11:22 on my actual clock. And if you're trying to figure out, well, where do I apply the pressure? What parts of my life am I applying pressure to? Where in my life should I be focusing all of my energy? Focus it on yourself and what it is that you want, what you're trying to create for yourself, the goals that you have. Focus on that. Focus on those things. Focus on those things. All right. Let's do one more pass. We'll clarify. Yes, I like this. This feels very much like you got to follow your own truth. You have to make a decision. Like, and when you're, because I do see this as an interesting energy. Like, if, like I said, if you extracted yourself from a situation that caused you a lot of sleepless nights or whatever, it would be ridiculous for you to even think about going back to entertain it. So I feel like the focal point really should be focusing on your own truth and going your own way. Do what's best for you. Do what's best for you. Ooh. Yeah. So like I said, two things can be true at the same time. It's kind of like on one hand, you know that, oh, crazy. This Temperance card has the Lovers on it. Yeah, because you're always the one giving to people. It's like you give to people to, it's like you soothing their emotional wounds. If you keep giving to them, nothing ever will change in the relationship dynamic. Baby. And if it is family, I'm telling you, if it is family, the only way you're gonna see positive change in your life is you would absolutely have to not entertain whoever this is. Because this person, I feel like they're only, if there is someone coming back, now this is like some of the energy from yesterday's reads. If this is somebody coming back and it is connected to your family and it is somebody that you may have had reverence for, or some type of like whoever it is, you may have respected their position in your family. So it could be a parental figure, it could be like a family elder or something like that. Whoever this person is, they have never actually invested in you. The way, it's the same example. I'm like, they have never really invested in you in the way that they have an expectation of you investing or helping them. I want you to pay very close attention, like use your discernment, because I'm telling you, I can already see it. And if you want positive change in your life, you cannot entertain this. Yeah, you gotta let it go. Because it doesn't matter what you do or how much effort you put in. You're never going to win with this person or these people. Yeah, they don't put in any. There's like, I kind of feel like there's a loveless relationship here. I feel like as much effort as you put into trying to like show up for people and love on them, you were never actually able to ground the relationship. You weren't ever able to make much out of it. So if you freed yourself from that, And I also get the impression, if this is a family dynamic, whoever this is somebody who likes the appearance, or likes to give the appearance that, oh, this is my family, and this is how we are, and I'm, the matriarch, patriarch, and this is how we do things, or whatever. But really, all of it is, it's surface level, it's talk. It is not really based or rooted in reality. There are dynamics under that roof where, it's like fake love. They're like holding on to this is a weird ass energy, but it definitely feels like it's giving off holding on to fake love or whatever. And what you did is you were looking for real love. You were pouring in genuine love. What these folks are into is not, like I said, they're not as deep as they like to make themselves out to be. You showed up in all of your depth. They did not know how to address it. Your depth showed them how shallow they are. Or vice versa. Yeah. And the reality is, you are the one with all the grounded energy. You are the one. Because I can't imagine, even if you didn't have, I'm like, even if you only had $5 in the bank, I feel like you are so much more, it's like you're rich in spirit and heart. You know what I mean? And that you can't replace. But I do feel like other people, like there's an awareness here. I don't know if there's other people that are aware of it, but they can see the difference between you and whoever this person is. Because in the face of things, everybody wants they don't want people to actually know that they don't really have it all together or whatever. And they don't want people to know that they're really a toxic hot ass mess. That they're also a toxic hot ass mess. I'm getting a little out of sight, out of mind energy up here though. Oh yeah, you don't have no... You don't really have any desire to entertain this person. Now I just got a different level, a different layer here. Okay, so now I have another layer here, and I don't know who this is for, so take it how it resonates. I do have 2 practitioners out here. I do have 2 practitioners out here. One could be a Leo, and one could be a Leo, and the other one could be a Virgo. Okay. I'm like, this is weird because I'm like, it doesn't really go with the story, but this is like a different layer because I'm using a different deck of cards. But this kind of feels like somebody who, if you are partnered, okay. Because remember when I've talked about this a few months ago, and I was like, they've been targeting, they spent a lot of time targeting the divine feminine, but when they didn't get any traction off of the work they were doing on the feminine, they turned their attention to the masculine, because that's what it kind of looks like here. It kind of looks like somebody trying to, Their gaze is on the masculine. But this feels very much like somebody who attempted to try to, like, I don't know, get a masculine to, like, engage in third party whatever. Because I kind of feel like that was the goal. But it doesn't appear to, I'm like, it doesn't appear to have worked. Because I think whatever they were attempting to latch to, it's already been healed. It's like doing work on a wound that you've healed. Hold on one second. Let me go wake up myself. Make sure he's up. Okay. It kind of feels like somebody doing juju in secret in order to affect someone's decision-making skills about their relationship. But like if they were trying to create dynamics, sounds weird. It kind of looks like somebody sending energy. It's like they wanted, I don't know what this is. So it's like, because I'm telling you, if you got yourself out of a nightmare, don't entertain this person, whoever they are, because they're not, don't entertain them, period. Okay? Now, on the back end, it kind of looks like somebody feels some kind of way because you're not entertaining it. Right? So, the upper layer cards almost feel like, well, this is how I feel. I want to make you feel the same way that I feel. So let me get together with my little witchy friend and we're going to throw some magic at you so that your counterpart or that your partner will treat you the way that you're treating me right now. Ma'am, get a grip. Crazy thing about it is, whoever this person is, it kind of feels like this energy over here feels like you've reclaimed your power in a way, but it's, I don't know how to describe this. It's kind of like the moment you reclaimed your power, because there are levels to it. Okay, I'm being told to explain this. There are levels to it. So yes, while you may have walked away or whatever, or you extracted yourself, you cut people off, there is something in the reclamation of your power specifically. Because it's kind of like when you release the toxicity, reclaimed your power, like all of the efforts and the energy, whatever they've been projecting towards you, I do feel as though they have been they started attacking you in order to slow you down. And you may have had to, like you may have dealt with those wounds, their attacks, like on your own, quietly. Kind of like, you know, those battles you endure that you go through that you don't talk about. Because that's what this looks like. It's kind of like the moment you released the devil energy, whatever this is, it's almost like you were being attacked spiritually, but you may not have been able to actually talk about it. You couldn't talk about it. I do feel like they've been trying to slow you down. It probably did work for a period of time. It don't have you down, like you're not down, but it definitely slowed you down. You might have even lost, I want to say you might have even lost direction a couple of times, or taken off course. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Yeah, it's like, okay, because now this is, I'm seeing like a boomerang effect, because I also get the impression of, as much as somebody wanted to like knock you off your square. Now, mind you, I don't have any of those cards, but I'm just telling you just like the imagery of all the cards I do have out here. It's like somebody wanting to take you out of or keep you from a place of authority. And that's the word that I'm being told to use. It's like somebody wanting to keep you out of a place of authority. They worked really tirelessly to keep you out of a place of authority, because they don't want people listening to you. I don't know what this is. Oh my God. I'm like, I don't know what this is. It's like they don't want people listening to you, though. Because I feel like they were trying, it's like whatever, because it feels like spiritual warfare, but it's like in an attempt to make you step down from whatever it is that you are trying to do. Now, we talk about what comes around goes around. So and I remember when I said, if this was somebody that was in a place of like authoritative figure, somebody that you may have respected, it's like whatever energy they've been projecting towards you, this is like somebody falling from grace, right? Because maybe in the past, everybody listened to this person, not knowing that they were listening to a fool, but they listened to this person. So this person doesn't want people listening to you. So they've done a lot of work to damage your reputation, to slow you down so that you don't actually show up or whatever. But I think what's actually happening, because this is a blockage. But I think this is for them. That they're being removed from their post. Don't know what that means. Damn. And if they've been looking for ways to try to break your heart, or it's kind of like there's something, I keep saying it has something to do with your emotional state. They got to stop looking for ways to try to hurt you, because you know how to turn pain into power. So they should just stop. And part of the lesson is, okay, remember when I said it felt like, and I hadn't even pulled the rest of the cards yet, but it felt very much like a boomerang, like a weird boomerang kind of energy? Now it's out here. So as much as they've tried to bind you and stop you from progressing, they may have tried to ruin your reputation. They may have tried to slander you. They may have tried all kinds of things in order to hurt you. What's actually happening, or what they're witnessing, is that all the things that they wanted for you to happen, everything that they wanted to happen to you, is happening to them. everything that they were having thrown at you, all of the energy projection of all the negative shit that they wanted happening to you is happening to them. Listen. Oh, I love these cards. Listen. Everything that they try to do to backstab and betray you, this is definitely at the very end of it. Like, you don't look anything like what you've been through. You still manage to maintain. It's, you know what it is? And when I say you don't look like what you've been through, you also don't come off as, you know how some people that have been, you know, that haven't addressed like their childhood wounds, or they haven't addressed any of their healing, and that are just bitter about like their lives, how they grew up, what their circumstances were. Instead of just owning it and being like, yeah, that's how I grew up and it was unfortunate and it is what it is and I'm so much better for it because it made me a strong person, blah, blah, blah. This person probably operates quite opposite, and they allowed their circumstances to make them bitter. You are not bitter. You're very grounded, and I think people respect you more because maybe they've had like a bird's eye view of everything that you've experienced and everything that you've gone through, and you still come out very loving, very generous. You haven't allowed the circumstances of your life to like beat you down into submission, like how this person has wanted you. Like, they wanted to beat you down into submission and they've been unable to. They can't. They have been unsuccessful. And this person is literally, they're getting karma for everything that they've tried to throw at you. I like it. I like a good karma story. I like it. All right. Let's get some index cards. Okay, this one wanted to pop out. Someone's experiencing a spiritual awakening. Someone's not taking responsibility. We have a cheating man or woman. Spirit says go have fun. Somebody's using distraction magic to keep you second guessing. A Sagittarius may be involved. Your ex may be involved. New cycles of abundance are here. Whatever love was left is now gone. They do things to seek attention. A Taurus may be significant. Somebody is unfaithful or non-committal. A baby mama is significant. Distorted feminine. Endgame, the cycle is over. Somebody has sex without love. Someone's been trying to swap karma or destiny. Somebody wanted to destroy your life. You may have somebody blocked. A step brother may be of significance. Release any burdens that are not yours. Make strategic moves in silence. Someone is a liar. Someone tries to convince people that you are the crazy one. Legal matters or documents may be relevant. Somebody purposely misled you to keep you confused. Your confidence is soaring and you're no longer afraid. The month of December may be significant. Could be dealing with a Sagittarius or a Capricorn. There's a distorted masculine out here. So we have distorted feminine and distorted masculine. Your ex and a baby mama and a stepbrother. Okay. Somebody has no discipline. Somebody refuses to change. Pretty little lies. Somebody is suffering from anxiety or sleepless nights. They created the drama and now they're experiencing the drama. Somebody's been trying to affect your root chakra. Somebody exhibits racist behavior. You're no longer bound to your past mistakes or worries. Somebody says, I'll do it all over again. And that's why they're getting the ass handed to them. They misjudged you. Pisces is out here. And someone's using children. Bottom of the deck, take a spiritual bath. Cleanse your home. Alright. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you know when I upload new videos. Don't forget to hype your girl up. Hype up my videos. I have no idea what that does. I'm assuming it gets you more into the algorithm. I don't know. Closure needed. Soulmate connection. Low vibes. Time for play. Think it through. Balancing act. Commitment coming. May have a phone conversation, or somebody may call you. Someone's checking your social media. Community. So a group of people may be checking your social media. 313 3133 1222 969. Someone's feeling alone, and if you are, ask for help. Somebody may be experiencing confusion. Be confident. Honesty. Busy bee. Walk it off. 2323. Empathy overload. Temptation. 333. Lurking. They're lurking, checking your social media. Somebody may want to contact you via phone. Ask more questions. Pay attention to the warning signs. There's a new lifestyle coming into play. It's not personal. 616 155. Harvest or harvest season. Somebody desires reconnection. Energy cleansing. Someone is envious. Someone has sexual interest. See, checking your social media. Somebody in the community is checking your social media, lurking. They have your temptation for them. They have sexual interest. Financial improvements. At the bottom of the deck, no, if you have any questions. The answer is no. Okay. So, let's see. January the 1st. January the 6th. Oh, January the 1st, January the 5th, January the 6th. January the 9th is out here twice. January the 14th, the 16th, the 18th, and the 19th. I have no dates in February, but I have several in March. So first we'll start over here. I have March 5th, 15th, and 23rd. Then I have March 3rd, March the 6th, March 8th, March 16th, March 17th, March 13th, March 25th. No dates in April. May 1st, May 3rd, May 15th, May 19th, May 23rd. I have several dates in June. We'll start down here. June 1st is out here twice. June 9th is out here twice. June 3rd, June 7th, June 8th. June 16th is out here twice. June 15th and 16th. June 19th, June 23rd. July the 6th, July 10th, July 16th, July 23rd is out here twice. August the 3rd, August the 6th, August the 16th, 17th, and 25th. September the 1st, September the 6th, September the 9th, September the 10th, September the 15th, September the 16th, September the 18th and 19th. September the 23rd is out here twice. Okay, so then we have October the 7th, October the 9th, October the 16th, and October the 23rd is out here twice. I have no dates in November, but I have December the 14th, December 16th, December 22nd, and December 23rd is out here twice. Okay. Ooh. Okay. North Node, Mercury, and the Sun. North Node is currently in Pisces. The Sun and Mercury are both in Scorpio right now. Scorpio is out here. So is Virgo and Aquarius. And we have the 6th house, daily routines, which is traditionally Virgo. The 10th house, which is your reputation, your social networks. That's typically, is Capricorn the typical 10th house? Yeah. And then the 11th house is typically Aquarius. 11th house is, oh no, 10th house is your reputation, 11th house is your groups and your networks and your friends or whatever. Okay. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it there. If any parts of this reading resonated for you, gave you clarity or confirmation of your own story, give the video a thumbs up so we can circulate into the algorithm and get in front of the eyes that need to see us the most. If you would like to book a personal more aligned with your own story, all of my information is below in the description box. Thank you for all the likes, shares, subscribes, tips, donations, the super thanks. I appreciate all of it, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for rocking with your girl, and having patience when I do take a little break, a couple of days off from posting on the channel. Yesterday's energy was like really weird, so every single time, by the time I did the last 2 readings, I was like on take 4 and 5, and I was exhausted, and I just didn't, the energy was like kind of all over the place. But the big theme, even though it kind of comes out here too, the biggest theme was like, really, like whatever's in the past, leave in the past. You've got somebody who definitely wants to come towards you. There were 2 energies yesterday. There was like a man and a woman, because I had divine feminine and masculine on the board. So either one could have been a target. But there was an energy on the board of somebody who was like kind of in regret for the way that they may have treated you. And it was because they listened to someone else. Like someone else was spinning. It's probably whoever this person is over here telling lies. But it's like somebody was spinning a narrative about you, talking about who you are, but it was really projection. And so the person had an opportunity to kind of like, I don't know, see you in action, or they got a glimpse of like who you actually are, and now they're kicking themselves because they're like, damn, collective is nothing like what this person told me that they were like, and I listened to them and I trusted them like a fool, but the collective isn't really like that, and now I've pretty much fucked off all opportunities to deal with collective because collective doesn't want to have shit to do with me. So take that part. I'm like, take that part and do with it what you will. But honestly, anybody that's trying to come back to you from your past for any reason, I don't care what they tell you. I don't care what they tell you. It is for nefarious reasons that only benefit them, and it's of no benefit to you. Okay? So just keep that locked in the back of your mind. The past has nothing new to say. And that's where we're leaving it. in the past. Okay? All right, guys. I love you. Until next time, I will see you in the next video. Take care.